I have fought so many of the fallen followers of Xucat, and they seem more bitter than any of the lesser creatures here. Judging from their incessant moaning and my deciphering of the bloody Xucat inscriptions on the walls, it seems that they were promised the divine wisdom of their gods of wonder. This path, akin to that of alchemy, led them to madness and empty defeat. Omniscience is a treacherous power for mortal coils. Though we humans are capable of godly ambitions, we lack brains big enough to house it. Oh, what I would give to know far less of the mysteries that have been revealed to me in this cursed place.
Xucat and I could never find common ground. She knew everything. I knew nothing. Confessions of Pablo Cordoba.
There is a particularly vile creature roving here that the gods of wonder helped create, and the gods of pain perfected. This temple was built to bridge a commerce between the gods and the Xucat. Divine powers traded for gold and devotion. Alas, as the Xucat acquired these gifts, began the slaughter and sacrifice of neighboring tribes. A caste of body collectors gathered the corpses for burial and came to worship Shebeltzalok and thrive on his pestilence. When the god of death conquered the temple, they welcomed him with open arms. It is growing hard to hate the more wretched of these fiends. Are they not simply obeying their deathly nature? And as I continue to linger here, slaughtering to survive, it is as if they've become my kindred.
Beware death by plague bringer. It does not come quickly, and it never comes fast enough. Conversations with the Deceased by Belinda Davenport.
Certain adepts of Xucat seem to have been transformed into what I might only consider a blob of flesh, bone, and goo. Their mystical rites require the ingestion of poisonous brews. Thought to help, I gather, pierce the mysteries of the gods. They've been promised divine transformation, and if this is a step in that transition, I pray I never come to know it. They seem to amuse Shebeltzalok, for of all the creatures roaming these temple floors, he seems to have made little to change their original physical appearance. Their illusions of becoming godlike, on the other hand, were squashed like so many insects being ground by a mortar in a pestle.
Oh, my brother, what horrid bargains were you forced to contract with the devils of this place? All in the name of bringing forlorn glory to our house. Diary of Marie-Clothilde de Pardieux.
Xucat, the goddess of mysteries and clairvoyance. The Xucat see her as a snake. One need only drink her sour potions, slow poisons, and pierce the veil between human understanding and divine. I have met her devout servants, gifted with glimpses of things to come. Their blood smells of bile, and their voices are but whispers, proffering curses upon any soul lucky enough to cross their paths. I, too, have seen my future, and with every death, the fog of reason is slowly lifted. There is no logic to a life everlasting. There is not tomorrow where I have failed to go mad.
Sishal is the most devious of the gods of wonder. She is all-knowing and blinds her servants with the truth. Confessions of Pablo, Cordoba.
I have witnessed the transformative powers of Sishal, brought on by the many droughts and potions her followers consume. Hands made weapons of bone and flesh. Teeth made blades sharper than steel. The goddess has offered me the knowledge of the gods and their divine secrets. I need only partake in their rituals and become one with the mystery. I must admit, like all the paths of the gods of wonder, the promise of omniscience is a tempting one. Alas, the more I learn about the horrors buried here, the more I realize that the path from ignorance to enlightenment is a far darker one than I would have before imagined. The more I learn, the less I understand. The more I see, the darker my vision becomes.
My hand was made an eternal fist, pounding the ground as I tread, to walk where only gods walked before me. Conversations with the Deceased by Belinda Davenport.
The discoveries I've made here give credence to the ancient stories of the Greeks, that both gods and giants once walked freely among the lesser mortals. I do not know whether it was the gods or man that destroyed these legendary titans, but their bones seem to retain a thirst for vengeance against me and my kind. Shebeltsalok animates their fury, and they are a formidable foe. I have died so many times that I've begun to develop a taste for it. Is that what Shebeltsalok seeks? Is he teaching me to crave the passage from life to the mysterious beyond? I fear he has something far more debasing in mind. I fear I'm becoming prepared to become his champion.
I've seen heads the size of horses speaking in the dark. Death holds no purchase here, and salvation is bittersweet. Diary of Marie-Clothilde de Pardieux.
Age seems a pointless concept for those kept from dying, but some of the denizens of these walls seem older than the temple itself. I've battled a collector of skulls, or a hag, or a crone of sorts, who has followed the path of Sishal to its bitter end. Shebeltsalok seems amused by this wicked witch who tosses skulls like potato bombs. I have nothing left to die for, yet still I cannot abandon the desire to live. Is this my destiny? To live and die and live again until I find some time-consuming hobby, collecting fingers, bones, or broken teeth. Perhaps then they will make me a champion of the snake goddess, and the day I escape, I would have enough strange artifacts to open a museum.
A woman of 1,000 years came to measure my head and found it not to her liking. I guess it was too empty to serve an all-knowing goddess. Confessions of Pablo, Cordoba.
Be careful what you wish for so the saying goes. I have met one of Sichal's champions, arms severed and replaced with deadly instruments. Is that the price to be paid to become a god? Will all humanity, limb by limb, thought by thought, be removed and replaced with something more powerful and divine? We pretenders in these tombs have lost more than our way. We have lost all that gives us a sense of identity. What advantage is there to becoming a god if we no longer resemble any part of what we once were? What good is it to become divine if we no longer have our own desires, our own purpose? As each day passes, I seek only escape. I must leave here before I forget who I really am.
I have died 1,000 deaths to the blades of these ungodly champions, yet the gods here still bring me back. I swear, brother, they will tire of killing me before I give up on rescuing you from these monsters. Diary of Marie-Clothilde Pardieux.
So, this is what it means to know it all. To pierce the veil of mystery. To drink from the cup of knowledge poured only for the gods. Shabeltsalok has such little respect for the wise. The god of death apparently prefers men of action to seekers of secrets. Sichal seems to have reaped the benefits of angering her rival, and so now I am left to fight what is left of her avatar. I must defeat this avatar to know if Haven hides beyond. The only question that troubles my weary soul is whether the world I once knew will retain its once pleasant taste to me. I've found only pain and empty promises within the temple of the Shatak. I fear anything less dreary might seem trivial.
I have died 1,000 deaths and lived 1,000 lifetimes, and I have learned absolutely nothing. Conversations with the Deceased by Belinda Davenport.